You are now listening to the greatest show in the universe.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean Danielson from Smile Empty Soul, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
The Anthony Rogers Show.
Brian Vanderek from the Verb Pipe here, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape, in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and the soon-to-be-released Halloween Ends. And this is the Anthony Rogers Show.
I am Dave Holmes from MTV and Esquire Magazine, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, the Godfather, and cannabis expert, and connoisseur, and you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show. Peace.
This holiday season, you're going to want to smell like Luxurious Bastard Beard Co. You either want to wear them as a man or smell them as a woman. So buy them as a man or buy them for your man. Don't smell like a bum this holiday. Do it right. With Luxurious Bastard Beard Company, use promo code LEGENDARY for a discount.
Welcome back to the greatest show that's ever existed. I'm Anthony Rogers, and your co-host, Nikki Niley. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. So it's a big show today. We got your friend has a lot of photography. We'll just bring him in here. That's crazy. I think like you did a podcast at his house one time. How I met him originally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then so he's like photographed you and Kurt Cobain. And fucking, and just everything in between. It's kind of cool, man. I don't know.
He's got so many good stories too. He's a great storyteller. Hi, Chris.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Nikki. How we doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good. Just tired. Anthony, you just said the funniest thing. Just to jump in here, I had that happen once where I was taking pictures of a certain girl. And she was so excited because I'm shooting her. And then I also shot Johnny Depp. So it was like a big deal for her. She's like, you're the same person. I was like, yeah, I'd rather shoot you than Johnny Depp.
That's funny, man. It's like typical kind of question. Like, how'd you get into that originally?
I'll tell you the short version of a long story. When I was, around 8-9 years old, I saw a movie called Funny Face with Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire, and Fred played a photographer that I thought, that's cool. I was in love with Audrey Hepburn as a kid, so I'm going to go be a photographer. So by the time I was 10, I started shooting. By the time I was 12, I started my business, started shooting models at 12 years old. And then just started shooting.
Models were like, am I going to shoot for this child or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But they saw my work, so it was okay.
Okay. The work spoke for itself. I'm like, okay,
yeah, that gave me the street cred. But then I started shooting concerts through high school because I loved music. Growing up in the Bay Area in the 70s, music was a big deal. So I kind of I just knew I was going to be a photographer from day one. I used to run around telling everybody, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. I'm going to do this the rest of my life. So I moved to LA when I was 21 in 1981 and never looked back.
Love it.
That's crazy. You looked wild when you're young, man. I found some old photos of you. You look like a wild person. Like you didn't look like now you look like more refined and stuff. I think you look more wild back then.
I was not. No, you got it all wrong. I have been boring and I'm a workaholic. Since I started day one, I tell people I work. To me, it's all about what's the word? Like I always say, like work first, play later. And I've been driven. Like nobody outworks me. Nobody.
That's how I feel. I got this like all these fake books behind me from all my home.
This is all fake behind me too. This is just a big photo.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jenny, in the comments, by the way. Happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, dude, like, no, I was looking into you, man. Like, you pretty much, like, if you could basically, I bet if we had like people just guess people like that are famous, you probably have shot like have photography with them, and it's great stuff too, man. It's like, I mean, some of my favorite bands, man. You were just a part of that, man. Like you had like Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana. I mean, the legendary Nirvana photos I saw as a child were you, which is nuts.
Thanks a lot.
Like those were like, I was like when I found Nirvana as a child, man. Like those are some of the most like the pictures out the 17 pictures that existed of them, you know.
Yeah, the dumpster shot that you see, which was used as publicity for Nevermind, that has become rather iconic to Nirvana, and you know, it was used for everything. So it's
what was that like? I mean, like kind of a fanboy question, but what was Nirvana like meeting?
Well, I'll tell you the Nirvana story. Basically, I was you'll see if you know this band, but I was up in Seattle shooting the band Queensryche. Do you remember them?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, so I was up there in March of '91 shooting Queensryche for EMI Records, and Nirvana's manager at the time was John Silva, and I think he still works with them. And I said to John, "Hey, I got a day off. Is Nirvana around?" And he goes, "They are." And he goes, "Perfect timing, Chris." I go, "Why?" And he goes, "They got a new drummer, Dave, and they could use some photos." So I set up a meeting on a Saturday afternoon. We met at a diner. They were hung over us, you know, really fucked up. And so I bought them lunch, and they had no money. Like they were poor than
lunch.
So I said, you know, got him feeling pretty good. Then we just walked around the neighborhood and did a bunch of shots. And then I said goodbye. And poor Dave had no drumsticks. So I called my friend at a drum company and I bought him 100 pairs of drumsticks and had them shipped to him. Because I said, you can't be a drummer without drumsticks, Dave. It doesn't work. So that shoot, you know, I just did it for free and for fun. And then I came home. And, you know, I shot Nirvana. For me, it was a big deal because I was a big Seattle fan. I loved Sub Pop Records, you know, anything that Sub Pop was doing. So for me, it was like a big deal. But I came home and people were just going, Nirvana, what? You know? So it was really funny to get that kind of reaction here. But then, you know, a few months later, Nevermind blew up. By the end of, I tell people all this all the time. And by the end of 1991, all my friends were millionaires.
Wow, that's gonna be a crazy feeling.
I always tell people, you think about Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. They were poor, had nothing. And then by the end of the year, Chris Novoselic was buying a house with cash. They were all buying houses, and you know, it was crazy. And the last time I always tell people the story. The last time I saw Kurt Cobain, I said, "Kurt, how's life treating you?" He says, "It's weird, Chris. It's really strange." I said, "What's so strange about it? You're doing great. The music, everything." And he goes, "It's just weird." He goes, "Now when I take $20 out of the ATM machine, I have a balance of 50,000." And I went, "Okay, that's tough. I will never know what that's like, but I can understand." And I said, "You'll get used to it, Kurt. You'll get used to it." And you know, it was a crazy. I always tell people, because during that time, not only Seattle was taken off, but I was documenting Jane's Addiction in the middle of doing that.
Love them.
And so the first Lollapalooza was in 91. I was there for the first one and a bunch of other ones. And
nice.
So there's a lot was going on. I always tell people, I look at my calendar from that time and it's insane. Like one day it's like I shoot Soundgarden in the morning and Alice Chains in the afternoon. And the next day I'm off Jane's Addiction. You're just like going, it's mind blowing.
That's how podcasting feels, I feel like, except for I don't have to be talented. Like you have to like do something to be talented. Like,
come on.
You just gotta like dress up like a Coke dealer and sit on a fake couch and say books in the background.
I put books there just to make people think I was literate. I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think like I can relate to a lot of what you're saying though, man. It's like I just get to know rock stars. I can relate a lot to that. But I think like I mean, you have a lot of good. I mean, and it's good stuff too. It's not just like
the grunge is like my favorite genre. Those are some of my favorite bands.
another dumb story. This is how I laugh. This is the joy I get from the last 13 years of doing this greatest hits project. Is all about my greatest hits project. The thing I enjoy the most is when I did this exhibition in Australia in 2018. It was a George Michael exhibition, and it was massive because George Michael fans are very passionate, and they're it was like the gallery became Mecca for George Michael fans. It was incredible. And then so 6 months later, I go back and I do this grunge exhibition, and everybody freaked out. They thought, "Oh my God, you did George Michael. How did you do all these pictures of Chris Cornell and Nirvana?" I said, "Well, I did that too." And it just freaked them all out because they thought all I did was George Michael. And that happens with a lot of people. And then I followed that up with a Michael Hutchence exhibition, which then scared everybody to death. So it keeps going. You know what I mean? You just keep trying different things. Like I tell people, after 53 years of shooting, I have a lot.
And it takes a certain kind of energy to kind of be talented and straight face these situations. I mean, because you're dealing with a lot of big stars and stuff. I mean, and I think it takes a certain kind of person to be able to straight face that and handle it and stuff. I mean, in my opinion, at least. Yeah,
but you know how it is though. They're just people. The only people I was ever in awe of, ever just oh my God, was Sidney Poitier. It's Sidney Poitier. I was in awe. I was nervous. It was him made me nervous. And meeting, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, because as a kid, they were stars, So it was those people, the musicians. There were some that I was in awe of and excited about, but never just, I talk shit to everybody. So I really don't. I always tell people I didn't care.
Yeah, love that.
The Wolf of Wall Street was like that for me, probably. Like the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, and Sublime with Rome. So, Rome. Everyone else, it was probably because it was the beginning too. So was it harder for you in the beginning when you started meeting these people, and then it gets easier as well?
Yeah, of course. I just had fun. So I'll tell. This is to get this started. Was when I got to LA, I came here to be a fashion photographer. I wanted to shoot models. The reason I'm a photographer is models and girls. That's why I became a photographer. But the first day I got here, and I didn't know anybody, and I got this job at a black and white lab in LA. My boss says to me, "It's not going to happen. So figure something else out." But he gave me the best advice. He said, "It's not what you shoot, it's who you shoot."
Wow.
So he said, "You could have the greatest pictures of a bunch of nobodies or half-assed pictures of a bunch of somebodies." And I said, "I want the somebodies." And so that's when I started right off the bat, was okay, if I'm going to shoot somebody, it's got to be somebody. And I started out in the early days. I was shooting models, of course, but I was shooting playmates and up and coming actors and then some up and coming bands and things like that. But it started with that mentality.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like an Andy Warhol kind of approach. I think he kind of did the same thing. He would paint rich people and sell them the paintings, basically.
Yeah, right.
You'd paint Mick Jagger, somebody famous that had a bunch of money, and then sell it to him for $20,000 and stuff. It was
exactly. It's we in LA we call it celebrity by association. I'm not a celebrity, but all the celebrities in a sense I shot, it's it makes me a celebrity. And I always laugh about it. I'm the guy. They go, "You're the guy that shot George Michael. You're the guy that shot Nirvana. You're the guy that shot Michael Hutchence." I go, "I'm just the guy." The tagline I've had for my greatest hits project is, "I have a million stories in the photos to prove it." And unlike anybody else, and I always tell people the first time I did drugs was I was 27 years old. It was 1988. The first time I did drugs, I did ecstasy with George Michael and Elton John, and I got pictures. So
those are two guys I probably wouldn't do ecstasy with. I don't know why.
I would. I had no problems. That was great. We had good times. I didn't know. I was not into drugs. I grew up in the Bay Area. My family was on drugs, whatever. It was the 60s. But I was never interested in it until I got later on in life.
That 27, I know it makes sense. Wait, no, that makes sense.
But how you're work is a priority. And like I said, being a photographer is not easy. I mean, it's cheaper and easier to be a heroin addict than to be a photographer. It's the truth. You can go to rehab for heroin. You can't go to rehab for photography.
Is there anything that you did specifically to manifest I mean, other than obviously working your ass off, was there like a trick you had, or was there like journaling it, or was there any like manifestation tips, or just saying it out loud and being like believing it that was what you were gonna like create in your reality?
Yeah, no, Nikki, exactly. I think it's always had this drive about being what I would say would be, I knew what I wanted at such a young age, and nothing was going to get in my way. And so I just worked. No one was going to outwork me. I just had that feeling. And so I developed techniques and tools to multitask, to do this, to do that. And I wanted to be, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Richard Avedon, but I wanted to be him at 10 years old. And he was the greatest photographer ever. So I don't aim low. It's like, my motto is go big or shut the fuck up. It's that simple.
I like that. No, I tend to agree in business. I think that's the same way, man. I think like you got to go hard whenever you're doing that. I totally see that.
But when the example I like to share with everybody is like, so I did my first greatest hits exhibition in 2017 here in Los Angeles. But I mean, it took me 3 years to get there. But once I got there, we had this massive exhibition. I had at Tower Records on Sunset Boulevard. I had 1,000 people show up to opening night. We had performances and prints and auctions. It was massive. And I walked away from that going, that's what I want, but bigger. And so you got to, you just have to go big. I don't want to be good. I don't want to be, so. I want to create the greatest body of work I can.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like I can relate to things. My grandma, when I was a kid, was like old. She was like, I don't know, she's like 78 or 70 something when I was like a kid, like really young.
Yeah.
Like, she died when I was like 16. But I was saying, like, I remember her being like old, being like, man, I wish I did all this stuff. I was never like president. I was never like this. I was never that.
Yeah.
I remember her like telling me all that stuff, and it kind of motivated me. I think at a young age too. Like I can start to relate to what I'm saying. I kind of see that you have to like that.
You have to. And for me, when I moved to LA, I was told I was crazy my whole childhood, that I was a loser, good for nothing, and I was crazy. So when I moved to LA, I thought, oh, I'm crazy. This is gonna be weird. But then I got here and realized I am boring compared to these crazy. And so what got me going was when I started meeting people like-minded, or the people I looked up to, spending, I can drop names for days, but like spending 3 days on a music video set with James Cameron and learning like, oh my God, he's crazy, but like all in the right ways, or meeting these great actors, or meeting the musicians, hanging out with my hero, Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire. You start meeting those and you feel like, oh, I want to be one of them, and you have to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know most jobs look stupid compared to being famous, probably. Like I remember being like a kid and I was like and everybody had like dumb jobs. Like, oh man, like they worked in like call centers and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, I don't want to do any of that shit.
No.
I
got a question for you, Anthony. I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What was your first concert?
First concert, Kiss.
Ooh, what year?
96.
Excellent. I did an album cover for Gene Simmons' record label. You want to hear this crazy story? Because he's crazy.
Yes.
Okay. So there's this album called Silent Rage. You can Google it. Silent Rage. He had me shoot. He wanted the band to have hard-ons, and we had this French makeup artist who was scared to death by the end of the day. He kept on telling the band to go in the bathroom and jerk off and have hard-ons, because they were wearing like tight pants and tight vinyl pants. And he said, they were like, can't we just put socks in there? And he goes, Kiss never used socks. We had hard-ons. And so he made them band like do this all day. And I'm looking at this whole thing going, I don't want my name on this album cover. I don't want my name on it. I told the art director going, I don't want my name on this album cover. The album cover ended up coming out, and it's a picture of this guy's crotch and his heart on. And I'm like, put another name on there. Don't put my name on that, please. And the whole day, Gene Simmons was all about hard-ons and bulges. I don't think it's changed since, though, has it?
That's like the fanciest dick pic ever,
Yeah, but I was like, the art director, who's one of the greatest art directors of all time. The whole day we were both freaking out. Like, this guy is, famous for designing packages for the police, and a million Grammy-winning album covers, and we're sitting there going, bulges. What is going on here?
That's hilarious.
Do you remember who opened for Kiss when you saw him?
Oh, Murder City Devils.
Okay.
No, that was Pearl Jam. Never mind. Hang on. Let me think real fast. I don't know. I don't remember. The time before was Alice in Chains when my parents went. I remember that.
Ooh.
I don't remember. Oh, dude. Okay, so I want to ask you, like, is there anybody you wanted to shoot but like couldn't, or I want to eventually, or like where? What's your like kind of bucket list, I guess, with that? You know, like
Anthony, my friend. So I've had what I call a hit list since I think 81, 82. Once I realized what I was going to do, I said, I want to make a hit list. These are all the people I want to shoot. And luckily, when I started shooting music within the first year, I knocked off most of them. Phil Collins, Maurice White, Stanley Clarke. I got to my heroes. But on my list at the time was like Freddie Mercury. I wanted to shoot, still want to shoot Jimmy Page someday. I still want to shoot, it's changed through the years. Nowadays, I would die to shoot Lady Gaga. I'd like to spend a day shooting Lady Gaga because I just think she's amazing. But yeah, I wanted to shoot. There was always these people like, like I said, and for me growing up, it was of course the classic rock people. I would love to have shot Stevie Nicks at some point, or I shot Mick Fleetwood, but that wasn't the same. But I got to most of who I wanted to get to. Let's just put it that way.
That's crazy. Do you think Stevie Nicks is a witch?
If it's fine with me,
not really derogatory. I was asking, do you think?
No, I would be fine with. She could be whatever she wants to be. She's Stevie Nicks.
She seems like a witch. I don't know. Not like a burner at the stakes kind of way. Just seems like a witch. I don't know.
But I saw Fleetwood Mac like in 1979. I think when Rumors was out. It was one of the best shows ever.
Wow, great album. I wish I could have saw them in their prom.
I grew up in Northern California, and I kind of grew up in the hood. So I tell people all the time, like, I didn't know I was white until I moved to LA. And I grew up on R&B and soul and disco, mostly. I had rock and roll from my brothers and things like that, but my main music was R&B and disco and soul.
Love that.
So, Nikki, what was your first concert?
Oof. Oh my God. I don't know. I've been to so many shows and just done so many drugs. Like my brain's just like, no.
I know that feeling. Been there.
Oh man. Yeah. I've seen a couple rock shows, Slipknot.
The worst show I ever saw was Slipknot. Okay. The worst show.
Honestly, I'm not really a huge fan of theirs. Like there's a couple songs I like, but my friend was like their manager, so I ended up going to a bunch of their shows. There's no real good rock bands anymore that I would even really want to see live today, really. Like I've gone to a lot of EDM shows, but like nothing like, I mean, I guess those are concerts, but like no rock shows really. Rock's kind of dead.
I think you made a good point because, like, I remember a couple years ago I had like backstage passes to something, and I'm just like, I don't care about any of these people. Like it was a really weird feeling because, like, as a kid, that's like the end. You're like, man, if I can get backstage, me fucking Limp Bizkit, bro, or like whatever band was cool when I was a kid, or like Korn or some shit. And then I went to music festival. I'm like, I'm just not impressed anymore. Like all my favorite bands are like nostalgic ones that I've known forever. Like I don't know, like it's just a weird feeling, like not having. When you're a kid, everybody's like an astronaut or something, like
exactly. Well, funny is like you said, like that you grew up in that genre of rock at the early 2000s with Korn and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And Slipknot came a little bit later. Do you remember POD or Deftones?
Yeah, I love Deftones.
Yeah, I shot all at the time. At the time, I was shooting these people.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I couldn't get into it. I was like, I loved Fred Durst, nicest guy ever. I shot him solo, then I shot the band. Not everybody was nice, but it wasn't my music, so it was hard for me just to go.
I can imagine being an adult during that time. If I was my age right now, and at that time, I wouldn't even appreciate. I wouldn't even look into it. I think like, and it's weird. A lot of these guys, like, I mean, for example, like, I mean, I like Smile Empty Soul a lot as a kid, and the singer's like my friend now, which is weird to me. Like it's just like, I mean, just certain things like that. And I'm not like not a name droppy way, but in a like,
no, it's okay.
No, I mean, in a way, like, I can't believe I achieved my childhood dreams. Like, if I told my 16-year-old self that one of my friends is one of my favorite bands I listen to, I'd be like, wouldn't believe me, probably.
Yeah. Well, I call those moments the what the fuck moments because crazy, I've had too many to count where I'm just
like. I brought it up actually because I think it's super related. I think what you do is the same thing as podcasting, almost like getting to meet all these people. Yeah, it's actually why I originally brought it up because, like, I think that's a rare thing I have in common with you that most people don't know what it feels like. Like I get, most people have no idea what that's like.
Like I always tell people, my favorite first big moment was in Hawaii with George Michael. the first night we get there, the manager invites me to dinner, and I go, okay. And I go to dinner with the manager, but at the dinner table is Elton John, George Michael, me, the manager, and 2 other people, 6 of us at this dinner table. And I'm like at the dinner table with George Michael and Elton John. And all I can think is, I shouldn't be here. I should sit at the kids table. I'm not,
like that Wayne's World
this is
moment,
for
man,
the adults. And it was the weirdest moment. It was one of that weird, like
I'm not worthy. Like
yeah,
the
exactly.
yeah.
And I've had so many of those, like, and I still get them once in a while, but I love it. I always tell people it's just like, because I don't think of myself. I'm not famous by any means, and I'm a nobody as far as I'm concerned. But
you have a $4,000 a month loft apartment in LA behind you. Like,
no, not even. But no, I always tell people I say this when I do these interviews. I'm not famous, but my pictures are, and the people I shot are, and I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. You know, my dream.
More like the best version of famous you could be, so people aren't like, mauling you when you go outside and shit.
Well, what I like is,
God, it's Chris. Like,
yeah,
get him. Like,
I've had a couple moments, like but I always tell people my goal since day one is to create the greatest body of work I can, and you guys can all judge me afterwards when I'm gone. Then that's what a true artist is anyway. So that's the way I was brought up.
No, I get that, man, for sure.
So my question to you is, did you ever see Limp Bizkit live?
No.
I saw Limp Bizkit live, yeah.
What the fuck? I'm jealous of that somehow.
He's like dating one of the guys from Courtney Taylor. She's like a porn star. She was dating someone, and I was like, whatever. I don't know.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
But
I like them, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I have to go to a Limp Bizkit concert. Like,
In 8th grade, I would have murdered somebody, and I could go.
Yeah. Well, I shot Korn when they first came out, and they were the most boring band I ever. And they were just boring.
In person, like just them as
person,
people?
Yeah, just boring. No
That's
personality.
Is like.
Same,
and then the same thing I thought with Deftones, boring. But now
like they had no personality, or like they weren't funny. No. They just were like, yeah, we're a band. Like,
we'll stand here. We'll stand here. My friend plays bass in the Deftones now. My friend Fred.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
But it's just those bands did not have a lot of personality. Limp Bizkit. I'm trying to think of who else. Slipknot was the worst show I'd ever seen in my life. If you ask me what the worst show. It was a zoo. They made me stay. I was in Chicago, outside of Chicago somewhere, and it was like, stay for the show. I'm no.
A super big band that my wife got me into. You should check out, like for photography and stuff, and probably benefit from your thing, man. Is like Milky Chance, man. That band fucking rules, and they're huge. Honestly, they're like international, and like and they probably benefit from some cool, like your cool kind of black and white like style.
I'm probably not good enough for them. I have this problem right now. First of all, there's too much music in the world today, and there's too many bands. I don't know who anybody is anymore. It's really embarrassing. It makes me feel old.
I get it.
I still shoot, bands here and there, but everybody like I'll look on Instagram. Look, I just went and saw that. I don't know who anybody is. I really don't, and I just don't know, and I don't want to know. It's like most of it's forgettable. Most of it's content. It's just boring.
Well, it's like everyone thinks that they could be in a band now or something.
Exactly.
Like everyone and their cousin is a freaking DJ, and it's like, okay, yeah, like it's like so just.
It's just like perfect segue right now. A weather report, right? We got we're gonna do a weather report with Frank McDonald here.
I'm doing great over here. It's still pretty cold outside in Sydney, Nova Scotia. It's really cold outside. It was snowing the last night and things like this.
Are you outside while it's cold? Tell me it's cold.
It's cold outside in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia. This Saturday past, we had really strong winds, bringing a lot of damage and things like this. I never lost power for really strong winds on Saturday. My power still never went out.
Well, that's good, man.
That's good.
What's up?
Then around 2 o'clock in the morning Atlantic Standard Time, the power came, and the winds and high winds and heavy rain downgraded to breezy and drizzle.
That's crazy. So what's the weather look like this week?
Right now, it's going to rain on Thursday in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada. It's going to turn cold again on Friday. Warm air, cold air fighting each other this time of the year. Things are going great so far. In Sydney, Nova Scotia, and get the Cowboy Frank Del Bobblehead right on the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame website.
What's it like in the first world, like America? Like what's it like? Like Missouri, what's Missouri like this week?
Missouri's going to get colder and things like this because there's a big dip in the jet stream causing stormy weather all across eastern United States of America. It's going to bring drier than normal on Friday in Louisiana, things like this. There's a big snowstorm heading for Denver, Colorado on Thursday and Friday. This Friday coming, it's going to bring a whole lot of snow in Wyoming and Colorado up in the mountains.
What about South Carolina? Someone's asking.
It's going to bring some showers in North Carolina, South Carolina, and even Florida on Friday.
What are you saying?
That's Black Friday.
That sounds racist.
That's Black Friday down in the States. And then it's going to bring, on Black Friday, it's going to bring showers in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, and places like this.
Crazy.
Nice. It's going to be raining everywhere.
You just know this offhand. That's so insane to me. I love it, man. I wish I'd have to. So what's California look like? We have people from California. What's it like?
California's going to bring dry to normal temperatures this Friday coming as well.
Always nice. It's just always.
There's supposed to be a lot of rain sometime later on in a couple of weeks in California. It's going to bring high winds and heavy rain in Los Angeles and coastal areas of California all the way down San Diego because El Nino is getting stronger off the coast of Ecuador, the warm waters in the equatorial Pacific.
Are there going to be any hurricanes, you think?
It's going to bring it's going to bring a more active hurricane season in Atlantic next summer because El Nino's going to die out.
What's El Nino Spanish for? Like?
El Nino's it's a Spanish little boy. La Nina is the opposite. That's a Spanish little girl.
Okay, you're like
La Nina, yeah. Look.
Can I borrow some of your brain? if I had your brain, I'd be like a criminal villain, probably. Like
just a little bit.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. So, okay, what's else going on we should know about weather-wise? Like, what's Australia like? Is it warm there
right now? Australia is bringing lots of rain and thunderstorms all across east coast Australia, things like this. I'd like to introduce to both out there weatherman Gabriel Berardo, the rapper weatherman, and Brandon Helkins, the weatherman from Alberta.
He's so fast. You're so fast, bro.
Introducing Gabriel Berardo, the rapper weatherman. That's one. Two is Brandon Helke, weatherman from Alberta.
Cool. Love that. Is there like a weatherman convention where you guys all go and like talk about the weather?
I talked to Gabriel Berardo, and he's doing the rapper weatherman. He does the rapping about the weather and things like this.
Cool.
That's awesome, right? That's crazy, dude.
Hey, Chris's video is kind of glitching out, by the way. Do you see that? Or is it just me?
I'd like to introduce the new comedy video. Sortron is one. The guy acted like a cat. The guy acted like a turkey. Those are the 3 new comedy videos I did this week.
I saw those. Those are funny, man. Like those are just funny videos, man. We can pull one up, I guess. Hang on, let's see. Where's it at? I think you tagged me on Twitter or something. What the fuck? I heard myself. I don't know. You have a link, Frankie, though, before we get back?
Frankie, you got a link for the video?
Yeah, I'm going to send a link now.
Oh, yeah, show a video before we get back to the interview and stuff.
I'm sending you the link now. 13th. I'm sending you a link now.
Oh. How's the volcano doing, Frankie? Someone asked in the comments, Kiko.
The volcano's still up.
It's still going, is that what you said? Man.
I'm just sending you the video now.
All right, cool.
Here's the guy acting like a cat.
Wow. Frankie's face is crazy. I'll pull it up. Oh my god. I'm like, listen to these terrible ads. All right, here we go. Boom. Share screen.
It's a man acting like a cat. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull it up. It's stupid right now. All right, here we go. All right.
It's funny. It's funny.
Okay, guys, let's do a guy acting like.
Wow.
Really, my new ringtone on my phone.
Thanks for watching. Press down.
Oh, someone's calling. You'll just do that.
You're loud as fuck, man. You're loud as fuck. That's great, man. Well, thank you for the weather, brother. I'm gonna get back to
Hello?
Dude, you're funny as hell. Everybody follow Frankie McDonald online. Dude's hilarious.
Thank you, Frankie.
Thank
you,
Frankie.
Most famous weatherman on earth. Appreciate that.
Wow, that was scary.
That's hilarious. I love that dude. I love that dude, man.
I don't think I'll be the same ever again.
Dude, that's so
I've seen some things in my life, and that's definitely at the top.
You should be his photographer, man. Like,
yeah. I don't know what I do. I don't know.
Frank McDonald's huge. He's probably the most famous weatherman on earth. Like legit. Like number wise, like one of the most famous weathermen on earth. I think.
Yeah.
Does he just know? Do you think he's just psychically picking that up, or does he literally just sit there all day and like look at all of the weather and just know?
I don't know, but I think he does his homework. He just seems like a guy who does his homework. I don't know that though.
But remember, we asked him, and we're like, "How? How do you always know?" Because someone else was looking it up, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's always right every time."
I noticed that because I asked about Missouri every time, and I noticed he's right, and that's why he's like, it's gonna be cold. I'm like, oh no.
He's well connected. I got another question for both of you.
Okay.
If you could see anybody in their prime, living or dead, what artist, Anthony, would you want to see, band or solo, whatever? Who would you want to see in their prime?
Oh man, I got a smart ass answer and a real answer. The real answer is probably Beatles, man. I'd probably want to see the Beatles.
I would have loved to have been on the roof of Let It Be.
That would rule. Yeah, that last concert. That was our last concert ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's monumental, man. No, yeah, I'm a big Beatles fan, man. I don't know.
Well, that's funny you say it. Let me think about it, Nikki. Let me segue to that. Was that my first big shoot in 1980, 5 or 6, was to shoot George Harrison for the cover of Musician Magazine. And I'm like a Beatle. Like, this is my favorite Beatle. Growing up as a kid, George was my favorite Beatle. So they tell me, Chris, you're only going to get 10 minutes. So you better be ready. You get 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be ready. So we shot it at Warner Brothers Records, like conference room. We set up, got ready, wait for him to walk in. Next thing I know, he walks in. I shoot this first setup. I'm like getting the second one going. And next thing you know, like we just start talking about the Beatles. And then he starts talking to me about Hard Day's Night because it's my favorite movie. I'm asking stupid questions after stupid questions. We ended up hanging out for almost 2 hours and shooting. And then I went back and they asked me to shoot on a music video he was doing like a week later. Ended up hanging out with him, just him and I, in a room by ourselves, just talking for like another couple hours. Like, it was just, at that point, I'm 25 years old going, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
That would be so surreal.
It was. It's like, those are those moments you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah.
What was your answer, Nikki? Who would you see like in your prime?
Well, actually, it was kind of a tie between the Beatles or Alice in Chains, because the Beatles growing up was like my number one favorite band. Like, like my parents grew me up on the Beatles. One of my first CDs was Beatles 1. And like all of my school assignments, every time it would be like an art project or something, it would always be like Beatles related. Like, I really did love the Beatles. So, I mean, they're totally different bands, but like.
I saw Alice in Chains more than a couple times, actually.
Love Alice in Chains, though.
And they were amazing live.
I bet.
there was nobody like Lane.
Yeah, his voice was just like
Unreal.
one of the best voices.
The best,
maybe other than Freddie Mercury, you know.
Yeah, the best MTV unplugged CD is
Yes.
Alice in Chains
Yes,
Unplugged.
that's my favorite unplugged CD.
That's the number 1. Number 2 is Nirvana's, and number 3 is Pearl Jam.
Yes.
What's weird?
I love Unplugged. Unplugged is
Yeah.
so good.
I'm like I wasn't around when I feel like I was really young when Nirvana came out. I found Nirvana off their Unplugged special probably like in the late 90s, like in like a rerun of it on like MTV.
It was on MTV, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it and I had like chills. I'm like, who is this band? Like I remember like just finding them. I'm like, who is this? And it's only happened a couple times in my life, like probably like the White Stripes and like Nirvana really. And then
That you were late. You were like late to, like you caught him.
He was dead for 5 years by the time I found him. Like, I mean, it was just, it was just like a weird thing, you know. And then I think Nirvana speaks to teenagers really well, and I think it continues to talk to teenagers, like generation after generation. It seems like.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I've had that happen to me with a lot of bands where I'm just like, oh my god, these guys are amazing. They're like, Chris, they've been around for 20 years. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. You know?
I knew that.
I'm like, man, I discovered. You like feel like you discovered Nirvana or something. It's crazy.
Yeah. I ran into Dave Grohl last year for the first time in like 20 some odd years. It was kind of funny.
See, I have a weird feeling. I don't like Dave Grohl for some reason. I don't know him, but I think the Foo Fighters suck. Everybody's like has such a hard on for the Foo Fighters. I'm like, this.
I'm not a Foo Fighters.
I don't like the Foo Fighters, but he's a great drummer.
He's a great drummer. He's an amazing drummer.
I still view him as like a Nirvana session drummer, you know. And I still view him and I don't mean that in a mean way or anything. I just never followed it up.
Wow.
He looks like Curious George with long hair and like plays bad music. Like that's how I feel. You may not be rude. It's like this.
I just don't like it. Fuck.
Guess what? Anthony, my friend Dave Grohl just walked in. He wants to talk to you about these comments. Come on in, Dave.
I mean, he's still more successful than me, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like I'm
Guess he's not going to be a guest on next week. Well, forget about that move.
Oh my God.
I was never a Foo Fighters fan. It's not my thing. I
like good music, you know. It's like
yeah.
I just like really good songs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I was never a like I mean I like a couple of their songs, but I would never go see them play. I would not want to see them play.
Do you have an iPhone? You have an iPhone, Chris?
Yeah.
No, someone actually just told me they saw them play and it was like so horrible that they left.
No.
Foo Fighters? Yeah,
I swear to God, I'm only saying this because I just remembered. They did that festival in Vegas recently. It was like a rock and roll festival, like maybe like a month ago. And my friend said that they watched, was it there? I don't know. Someone brought it up and they're like, yeah, because isn't Dave Grohl singing in it?
Yeah.
He's trying.
They were like they were like he's better as a drummer because his singing was like they felt like someone was just yelling at them.
Yeah, he's not the best vocalist, you know,
or musician. But
I've never seen them, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like Dave Grohl's probably good at other things, you know, like cooking or something. You know, he's probably good at other things. He's probably got other hobbies he's better at. You know, it's like it's not a big deal. But no, it's like
I'm telling him all about this.
Well, do you think he was in on Kurt Cobain's murder, or do you think
no, it's all Courtney.
You think it's all Courtney?
Yeah,
I was looking like who benefited from it. I'm like,
I'll tell you this another dumb funny story. Back in I can look this up. Hold on a second. Back in 2000, I think it was. I got asked to shoot Courtney. I'd known her for a while already, but when was this? Courtney was 2004 to shoot Courtney Love in October of 2004. And I got asked to shoot her and they said, Chris, she's only going to give you like, you know, an hour with the band. It was with her band at the time. And I said, sure, that's all I need. I don't need more than an hour. She ended up staying like 6-7 hours. She wouldn't leave. We were like done and wouldn't leave. We were all, she just sucks the life out of the room. And we were just like,
yeah,
we're done. We're done. You can go now. And she wouldn't
not
leave.
Taking the hint.
Yeah, like it's just time to go. Time to go. I'm looking at the manager going, we're done. We're actually cleaning up and we're done. And she wouldn't leave. I don't know. I don't think she had anything where else to go. She was always nice to me. And, you know, there's a couple other dumb stories I could say, but she's just one of those people that just, you know, I don't have to say it. People know, like, she's a lot. She's a lot, you know.
I don't like her or her music, but I don't know her. But
I like that one album. You have to, the one
Live
album.
Through This. Yeah, Kurt Cobain wrote a good album. Live Through This was pretty
Yeah,
good.
you know, and didn't I think what's his
Bill
name?
Corgan wrote Celebrity Skin, I think, right?
Yeah, Billy Corgan. Like, he had some. He's a piece of work.
But here's the thing: like, I feel like I don't even respect her. But if I was single, I'd try to bang her just to be wiener cousins with Kurt Cobain. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure she'd love to hear that too.
I feel like that. I feel like if I was single,
I take it as a compliment. You never know.
He's like, that'd be a good story. Like, that'd be on my grave. Like he wants.
Yeah, I banged.
It'll be on your
Courtney Love.
tombstone. Like, was Dick cousins with Kurt Cobain?
Exactly.
Will be missed. Like,
That's pretty dope. Yeah, dude. I mean,
and he died because of the disease he caught from her.
that murder.
Yeah.
Disease.
Yeah. No, like I said to people, you know, my tagline is I got a million stories, and it's true. But I can never, people always want to know like bad things. I don't really have anything bad to say about anybody. Just people are just cranky to me. I always say some people are just cranky. Nobody did everything bad, just cranky.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm happy about that.
Do you have any favorite stories? Like any moments where you're like, oh my God, this was like the coolest, most incredible thing that's ever happened?
Well, a lot of the shoots early on for me were like Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire. I grew up with this R&B music. So I like shooting and meeting Maurice White and meeting Larry Graham from Graham Central Station. People like that I grew up with in high school that I shot pictures of in high school at concerts. So finally getting to meet them. And then my hero in high school was a bass player named Stanley Clark, jazz fusion bass player. He was my hero in high school, like amongst Carlos Santana and a bunch of others. But years later, to shoot Stanley Clark's 2 album covers for Stanley Clark, that blows your mind. You're like, okay, now I'm part of his history. You know? It's just weird. That's the stuff that I look back now that I'm old and I'm getting at this point in my career in my life. I just smile about it, thinking like, wow, I had those dreams and they came true. And it's it wasn't given to me. I worked hard to get there.
Right.
I sacrificed everything.
Have you ever used Rockstar Clout to get laid?
No, I never needed to. It depends on what decade we're talking about. In the 80s, it was because I was a photographer and I had a studio and I had a dark room. So a lot of things happened in that dark room. I used to joke. The joke was, let's go to the dark room and see what develops, and let's go make some enlargements.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I know.
That's classic.
But I was in my 20s. Okay, whatever. I was stupid. But then, you know, the 90s were a lot of fun, touring with, bands and going on shows and a lot of good times. And like I said, when I discovered drugs at 27, 28, that changed the game for me. That was like, I never did anything around anybody. Nobody ever knew I did anything really. I kept everything on the down low. If I was going to party, it was like, it wasn't going to be, I never went to clubs. I never went to I didn't never go party with musicians and friends because I didn't want to be them to see me like that. Cause I didn't want that reputation.
Yeah.
When I was 12 years old, this photographer gave me the best advice. He said, the most important piece of equipment you own is your reputation. So that was from the age of 12 on, that's what I was still am focused on,
Yeah.
You have to be careful with what you do in front of people, in front of clients. I never wanted a client to say, oh, I saw Chris at a club and he was wasted. I never wanted that kind of thing to happen to me. If that makes sense.
That's how I felt in my 20s, just trash all the time. That's how I felt. Someone asked in the comments, Chico asked, you ever met Jack Black?
I shot him twice.
That's crazy.
One of the funniest, the first shoot, I shot him and Kyle for Maxim magazine. No, yeah, it might have been Maxim for a layout. And I got my friend, we needed a model. We did this whole magic trick thing and Jack was amazing. And then I shot him a year or so after that, I think for Nickelodeon. I used to shoot for Nickelodeon a lot.
That's crazy.
Like people that's a funny thing. Like I talk about this and this is one of the reasons why I can't wait till when I die and they do the retrospective on my life. It's going to scare the shit out of her because I made my name in the music world, but I did tons of television. I did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 90, like all these iconic photos of Will Smith at Fresh Prince. That was me. You know, I shot all these TV shows, different, you know, actors and people. And so people will see that the music was just is a third of my workload.
Yeah.
The
That's
child,
awesome.
every time you like say you shoot somebody like that, I just think of like all the musicians that got shot because I'm a child. Like I was just like I was like John Lennon or something like that. You're like, oh, I shot John Lennon, you know?
Yeah,
I
know.
I was like a child. That's like what I think when you say that. But
yeah, I shot Kurt Cobain. No, I didn't. I no, I get it. It's you know what's funny to me is, you know, like all these years have gone by now, and the funny part for me right now is just looking over the body of work. And I've been digitally archiving my life basically. And every month I go to my vault, I pull a bunch of shoots, and I sit here and scan them right here. I spend every day scanning pictures. It's like it's like this walk down memory lane. And I remember a lot of it, but a lot of it I don't remember. There's nothing like I'll look at a shoot going, I don't remember. When did I do this? I'll have to look it up, or I don't remember doing any of this. It's like, it's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah. And it just happens every day. It's like, yeah, it's the same thing with podcasting. Like the first like big celebrity you talk to or something, like, oh my God, I talked to this person, it's crazy. And like now it's like a Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, Tuesday I'll do this, next Tuesday I'll do this. It's like I can see what you're saying, how it get mixed up and stuff. Someone's asked in the comments, any good No Doubt stories?
That's my friend Day. He always asks me about No Doubt.
He's like, finally on a
yeah, that's my brother Day. He yes, I'll tell a No Doubt story. Gwen Stefani. So
Gwen Stefani used to be real hot, man.
She is amazing. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Period.
That's crazy, man.
Period. No doubt. She's just a girl from Orange County.
You're like, no doubt. She's
yeah. No, the first time I met her, I laugh about this. I had to meet the band. Interscope Records hired me, and I had to go do this meeting with the band like a week before the shoot or something. And so I go to the recording studio and I meet the guys. There's 4 guys. Her brother was in at the band at the time. There's 4 guys. She's not there. And I'm like meeting these guys. We're talking about this and just bullshit about the shoot and everything. And the A&R guy, this guy, Tony Ferguson, the nicest guy in the world. Tony says, oh, wait till you meet Gwen. She's going to be a star. She's going to be huge. She's going to be the biggest thing in the world. She walks in wearing overalls and a baseball cap backwards. I look at him. I go, ain't going to happen. That not, sorry, you're wrong. Wrong. And I left the meeting just going, what am I going to do with this? You know? And then we get to this shoot and she shows up, puts some makeup on, gets her sassy look going, gets in front of the camera, and I shoot the first roll of film, and I turned to him and I said, you're right. She's going to be a big star. You could just see it. She just has that.
That's crazy.
That it factor. So it was amazing. And like I can tell you 20 more stories about her, but she's just the best of the best.
Have you met Kanye?
No. Oh God, no.
I
like real hip hop. Okay.
Like what? Who's married Kanye?
Oh, I'm not a fan at all. I grew up on, old school hip hop. I grew up on, I always tell people, I'm West Coast, so it's all about NWA and Ice Cube and Ice-T and that West Side stuff, West Coast.
You like Ice-T more than Kanye West?
Big time.
I'm gonna flip out, Chris. I'm about to.
And then I'm also, and I'm a big. I'm a huge Wu-Tang guy. I love Wu-Tang.
Yes. Oh my God! Did I tell you? I just went and saw Wu-Tang and Nas in Vegas.
I know you did. You liked it though,
they
right?
were so good. Oh my God!
You're winning me back with Wu-Tang, Chris. You're winning me back.
But I'm a huge Method Man guy.
Yes.
Because I've shot Method 3 times, maybe 4, and he loves me and I love him. My favorite shoot, why I say Ice-T is because the first time I shot Ice-T, Ice-T called me OG. So
meeting these people are different than just like hearing them on the internet, though. I'm not a fan.
Did you not see New Jack City? Come on now, it's a great movie.
They went from cop killer to a cop or something in TV. He's like Ice Cube, right? Like they pretend to be like criminals.
I love Ice Cube. I shot Ice Cube. Amazing.
I think they marketed the privatized prison complex. They basically put all these people in jail and made them all slaves. And I think that I'm kind of against that morally. And and I think they're bad at music also. But it's not,
So who's your hip hop hero?
I don't have any heroes, but I like Kanye West's music a lot. You know, I think he he's almost as anti-Semitic as me. You know, it's like
yeah. I mean, between Kanye now and dissing Dave Grohl and fucking Courtney Love, you're literally losing all your street cred.
I never had anything to do with it. If you, I just kind of, I don't know if I should say this online, probably, but I wrote this article from like back in the day, like if I wrote this article for like Funny or Die or like some thought catalog or something, and it talked about like things you would do if you had a time machine, and like one of them was like go back in time, hit Marilyn Monroe in the head with a shovel and rape her behind a tree, and people like thought I was serious, like people thought I was fucking serious. They're like, man, that's really fucked up to do that. I'm like, that's the whole fucking joke. It's a joke. Like if the premise is I have a time machine, it's like insane that they believe, like they try to cancel me for that, like that kind of thing.
Careful.
Cancel.
Yeah, be careful. People don't have a sense of humor.
Well,
speaking of sense, I've shot a lot of comedians. Do you like comedians?
Not really. I'm like,
not really.
I do it, but I only do it so I don't have to have a real job. You know what I mean?
Is there somebody you like?
Nah, I mean I used to, man, like George Carlin or something, probably.
George Carlin is God.
Or Bill Hicks or something.
Who's
Carlin. Your favorite comedian that you've shot, Chris?
Oh God.
Great question.
My favorite would say I've shot a lot, but my favorite was Bernie Mac.
Oh my God. Yeah, you tell the story about Bernie Mac.
The first time I shot Bernie, I made a big mistake. I was shooting him at the studio here in Hollywood, and Entertainment Tonight crew was there filming us, you know, the photo shoot with Bernie Mac, and then they were going to do an interview afterwards. So I'm sitting there being my smart ass self, because I'm a smart ass. I start talking shit to him because he's from Chicago, and he's a big what do you call it, a Cubs fan, and I'm like a Giants fan. So I start talking shit because the Cubs were sucking, my Giants were winning. And I just started talking shit about the Giants. Fuck the Cubs. And next thing I know, I forgot who I was talking to. You know, a comedian who's used to hecklers. Next thing you know, with the cameras rolling and everything, he just rips me to shreds for like 15 minutes. Just tears me a new one. My assistants.
What do you say?
Oh, I don't even remember. I was turning red, freaked the fuck. My assistants were rolling on the floor, laughing. The crew from Entertainment Tonight busting up he just tore me apart. 15 minutes solid of just went at me in a Bernie Mac style, and I laughed. And at the end, where I was like, "Oh my God, I'll never do that again with a comedian." Fast forward like a month or so later, I'm shooting him for Fox Television. I'm waiting for him to show up. I'm scared to death. I better be good. I'm not gonna say anything stupid. He shows up. And he totally remembers me, and we start laughing. And he was the nicest guy. I mean, he hugged me. We talked. He was just the best. He was the best of the best. And I always tell people it was one of the highlights of
one of the kings of comedy for sure.
Just like one of those, brilliant. I mean, and I don't know. He's just one of those people. I shot Cedric the Entertainer as well, who I loved to death. He was super cool.
Nice.
But I like shooting comedians. Oh, Chris Farley was another brilliant one.
Wow, Chris Farley's here. Chris Farley, I liked him as a kid a lot. He was big.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this is another funny story. So
fucking Chris Farley, that's insane to me. That's
so we were doing this shoot with him, and I think the pictures are on my website. We were doing the shoot with Chris Farley, and we met at this hotel called Shutters on the beach. It's in Santa Monica. And we rented a conference room for the crew, the makeup, the stylist, and everybody to meet. And we were going to put him in clothes and then shoot him on the beach area in Santa Monica area. We got all these outfits together. So we did these pictures. We dressed him up as Mitch, what was it? Mitch from, dressed him up as a lifeguard. We dressed him up as a pimp. But we shot all over that area. He was really quiet when he showed up, and I thought, oh, fuck. This is not going to be easy. And the publicist says to me, oh, relax, Chris. He's going to be fine. Once you get the camera on him, be ready. I said, okay, okay, I'll be ready. So he comes, and we start putting him in each outfit, and he just gets in front of the camera, and he just shines. Funny. And he loved women. So luckily I had a female makeup artist and a female stylist and a female assistant. He was just performing for them to get them to laugh and smile. So we laughed the whole day. No, I don't think we stopped laughing because he was just really made me look good. Had him go down the slide on Santa Monica Pier. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. He was a brilliant man and funny and just so genuine. Big heart.
like I think you hit on something. That's how comedy feels like. It's like you just be like sitting there and then like you do your set and you just go back to like whatever. It's like weird. You know what I mean? It's just like that's how comedy feels. Like you just go out there. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go bullshit for 30. Like Chris Farley's way funnier than me, but I feel like I'll just go there and like talk for 30 minutes and then just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go fucking. And everybody else is like so excited. I want to find a picture. Like
I think that like Anthony, my philosophy on comedians and comedy. I grew up on George Carlin and Richard Pryor. They were gods to me. Okay?
Love Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor I know every album by heart and I can quote everything. What I loved about comedians, the ones that I've been around and talked to and had conversations with or whatever, was I like that you're able to go on stage, express yourself and have your skills, because it's a skill and it's a technique. And it's, it's like me doing a photo shoot. You have to have this skill level. You do that. And then, you cut off stage and you're you. So, I always tell people you don't, when you're with a comedian that's not working, you don't go, hey, tell me a joke. It just doesn't work. That's not how it works.
No, it's a weird thing. Yeah, no, I try to sum that up too. It's like people ask me all the time, like tell me a joke, and I'm like, well, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I'm a dentist or something. I'm like, all right, well, can you fucking brush my teeth or something? So you mean it's like, that's what you do your job for free right now. Yeah, can you like do your job for fucking free right now? And like, I mean, that's like how I feel when people ask me that, and I don't think they understand it. I don't think they mean it.
Of course, it's never going to be funny when you're put on the spot like that. Like, okay, perform now. You're like,
I'm not even funny when I'm like doing a set. It's like it's not I do a different kind of comedy where I'm not funny.
Well, I'm sure you work a lot.
Yeah, it's really easy. No one else is funny either, so it's a pretty easy time to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to find this photo. I have a photo, but I can't. Like my screen share is stupid. It only lets me share browsers or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
No,
I'm trying to sums it up.
I think that, I've been to the Comedy Store here back in the day and the Improv and things like that. It's definitely fun. It was definitely a good time to be able to meet some of these people. Like I said, I grew up on the Carson show, Johnny Carson Tonight Show. As a kid, I stayed up every night to watch Johnny Carson, and I never went to bed until after.
This sums it up. I think I found the picture finally. This sums it up. Look at my face and everybody else's. Everybody else is like.
I'm looking at the outfit right now. That's
really happy. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, dude! Look, we made it. We did a comedy show." Yeah. I was just like, "Fuck what?"
You don't like just go off like a week-long bender or some shit. Like,
I think Anthony, I think they're smiling because they're scared. I see fear in their eyes, like you're gonna cut them up in pieces.
Like I feel like this sums up my style of comedy. Like everybody else, like, "Look, Mom, I made it. I did a comedy set." And I'm just like, I don't want to be here.
They're like, I see in their eyes is like, please save us.
Save us. No, okay, let me see. I didn't look at their eyes. I'm too narcissistic.
Come on, Anthony. Come on now.
Let me look at their eyes. No,
they look like serial killer next to us. Serial killer.
They look happy to be they look.
Do they really?
They look like they finally made it. They're like, look, we finally made it. They got that vibe to them.
Nick, you agree with me, right? You agree with me. They look scared.
They're like, yeah, this guy.
I think that sums up like how I view art. It's like a job to me, and I just want to go home all the time. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sell some T-shirts and tell people they want to hear or what they don't want to hear, depending on my mood, and then I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. Have you ever come to LA and performed?
Oh no, I hate LA. I don't like California.
Oh,
I can't do it. I'm from Missouri. I'm from Missouri. You
don't like it because you might get sunburned because the sun's too bright for you.
No, I just feel everybody's really heterophobic there.
Oh God. Kids today.
It's my problem. It's like, well, you guys are cool. You guys are both in LA. If I had friends like you guys, I'd maybe.
I don't hate anyone from LA or anyone in LA right at this very moment. Like,
but you know how it is. You guys live in LA and probably hate LA.
I like LA. I've been here for 40 years. It works for me.
It's a love-hate thing,
Yeah.
There's things I love. There's things I hate.
Yeah, but it's you hate to love it and you love to hate it.
You love to hate it. Yeah, no, it's like a toxic relationship with an abusive ex-boyfriend. Like, I love him, but he just beats me every day.
But she takes all my money.
You like Teddy's asking me, do you have a favorite picture you've taken professionally otherwise?
If you put a gun to my head and said pick one, I would say if I had to pick one, I would say my portrait of Ice-T is probably one of my favorites because it says everything that needs to be said about Ice-T. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. That's a good. What a great fucking question, man. Like I love how like the fans have better questions than I do. Like, it's really cool that like I mean people just like have great questions, man. Like,
well, maybe if you did your homework.
I hate homework. Don't make me do homework, please.
I just have to make sure everybody's vaccinated before they come on the show. That's my job.
Yeah.
If you want to vaccinate 25 times, you can't be on here. We are affiliates of Pfizer. Use Anthony Rogers on Pfizer.com. You get 20% off your next shot. So that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to sell out.
I've been trying to sell out for years. Where is it at here?
We'll just make everybody wait in silence. If you're watching right now, just wait in silence while we
No, you can keep talking. Keep talking.
Can you make that face you made in the picture?
You ready?
Yeah.
I am behind the sunglasses.
You're like, oh my fuck! I can't even do it. It's like,
dude, I couldn't even do that on purpose either. I just think I look annoyed all the time. Like people are like scared to talk to me. They're like, good show.
Ooh, oh my god!
Such a good picture. Doesn't even look like Ice-T, man. That's nice.
That's gangsta. That's OG. That's OG.
I'm about to sell this couch I'm on and hire you to take photos of me.
Can I do a selfish plug here? Because you can download my Greatest Hits app at the Apple Store and Google Store and see all these pictures and the stories behind them.
Do you have an app? What's it called?
It's called Greatest Hits. It's under my name. It's on the Google Store and the Apple Store. And you can download it and you can see proof sheets from the film. You can see the story behind the photos. There's trailers to the exhibitions, and we're adding more and more to it.
That's so exciting. I love that.
Yeah, we're going to, we want to take next year, we want to take advantage of AR and VR and try to have people be able to come to the exhibitions through their goggles and stuff.
What's AR?
Ooh, like
augmented reality.
Augmented reality. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
What's augmented reality?
It's like you use like your phone and like you could be in like a computer and the real. I see. I don't know how to describe it. Like this video. We have like
Ice Cube.
Damn, I love the black and white. Love the black and white.
Yeah.
He tricked so many kids into going to jail, dude. He was like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Dude, he did though, man. Like he made so much like side money with the privatized prison complex. They're like, I'm a big Ice Cube fan, but not his music, him as a businessman.
He owns a basketball league. You can't complain.
That sounds racist. I just feel like it sounds racist. I'm not saying it is. It just sounds it's like Ice Cube he owns a watermelon farm, you know. It's like,
but what I like is these days what I when I meet young musicians these days and I'll do a shoot or something for free, I'll say to them, what is your goal? And they're like, well, I just want to do a tour. I want to play, I want to play the Forum, or I want to do a tour of this, or I want to just play shows and play my music. I'm like, you want to be Dr. Dre and be a billionaire. You want to be Cube and own a basketball league. Like, aim bigger. Like, what's this like tiny, I want to do a show at the Roxy. Who cares?
Yeah.
Dude, everybody
has small bad bands I've seen do shows at the Roxy. I'm like, dude, no one gives a shit about the fucking Roxy.
I saw Nirvana at the Roxy.
That was like probably a while ago.
In 1991. Where were you, Nikki?
Bob, I don't know.
I invited you and you weren't here. You didn't show up. You stood me up.
We had Kurt Cobain on the show a couple weeks ago on a Ouija board. Like,
we summoned his spirit and yeah.
How's he doing?
How's he doing? Can't complain.
You can't complain.
He's fine. He says hello to everybody.
Just floating around in the ether, not giving two fucks. Still not giving two fucks.
Kurt Cobain's interesting too, because like in 8th grade, he seems like the greatest person ever. But then like as I get older, I'm just like, this guy was just a kid. Like I see him like videos like wiping his hands with like pizza on tablecloths and stuff. I'm like, this guy's he never got old. He never like got old. He just stayed like a kid forever, you know?
Well, that's the same thing here. I have this year on my birthday, my best friend in the world, my number one bestie. She called me up to wish me a happy birthday. And I go, I have big news. She goes, what's going on? What's going on? I go, big news. She goes, what's your birthday? What are you gonna? What's going on? I said, this is the year. I go, I'm gonna grow up. And she hung up the phone on me. And I called her back and I said, what the fuck? And she goes, you're never gonna grow up. I said, I'm gonna grow up. And she hung up on me again. I call her back. I go, what is going on? She goes, don't fuck with me. Don't waste my time. You're not gonna grow up. And she hung up on me again. And the only thing I tell people, I've been shooting 53 years now. The only thing that's changed really in my life is technology. I'm still doing the same dumb thing I've done, 50 years ago.
I feel like I have like rest and get off my lawn face. I feel like I'm already old. Like
you don't know yet. I told you. Wait, you call me when you're 50.
Well, you'll be dead probably. But
I know. Just go to my memorial. Nikki's building a memorial here in Hollywood for me.
I'll just fuck her. But I think like you should hijack the Walk of Fame, bro. Because like I feel like Hollywood's weak right now. You could take it, That's like it's like you should Macaulay Culkin just got one. They're giving them to anybody now, dude.
You can buy them. People buy them.
How much are they?
I don't know, but I don't think they're. I mean, I'm sure they're a lot, but I
kind of want to put my own there and have like an offensive like middle name, like just like make up a middle name that's like crazy offensive to people.
like what would that be?
Have you ever seen that star? It's like, there's Anthony Faggot Rogers. Like, look at that. It's like there's like slip a word in there that you can like get away with, and then but you call yourself the word, so it's not like offensive,
Wow. Okay.
You just put like an offensive word as the middle name. And
I don't think you want to do that, and I don't think you'll be coming to LA for the unveiling of it. So
I'm not vaxxed enough to go to LA.
Don't be a bunch of riots, like a bunch of riots.
Yeah.
I think Nikki has a better chance of getting a star before you do.
Well, she's a porn star. Of course she does. Yeah, like,
of course she does.
Yeah, I wouldn't even argue that.
In the name, so let's.
Yeah. I think she only has 43,000 more people on Twitter than me. So I think it's pretty close. No, I wouldn't even argue it.
Like this close.
Yeah, no,
it's 12 inches close.
I'm trying to do the opposite where I don't get that famous so no one can assassinate me. I want to stay a random loser forever.
You want to be famous, but you also want to keep your real, friends and your real people in your life. You don't want to lose them.
No, I agree with that, and like that's why I stayed poor forever, so I know who's real. I stayed forever impoverished, so I know.
I like to say I'm poor. That way, I know my friends like me for me and not my money.
Now I'm poor, like metaphorically. So,
I'm poor. I'm poor, literally.
Like, you see the rich mahogany behind me. I mean, they don't just give them bookshelves to anybody. They don't just give
exactly.
Rich mahogany.
They don't just give this to anybody. Like,
wow. Wow, you're scaring me. You're scaring me.
Would you ever take a picture of Bill Gates or any of those guys, those murderers? Would you ever take a picture of the murderers like Bill Gates or?
I would, if they asked and paid me, I would in a heartbeat. I don't care about anything.
I backed it up. I sell out.
I'm easy. I can be bought. I mean, Nikki knows that.
I can be bought.
Nikki knows. Give me some ice cream. I'll shoot whatever you want. I'm that easy.
That's fair. Like,
ice cream to sweeten the deal.
Yeah, sometimes these shows we have like 15 minutes of ads in the beginning. Like that's how hard I try selling out.
Next week it'll be 30 minutes of ads.
So I always tell people that I love shooting, and it's like it's more important than breathing for me, and I've been blessed. I always tell people, who do you know that can say they've done what they love for 50 years? I've been blessed, and I don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful for that fact. It hasn't been easy, but it's been a hell of a lot of fun.
I bet.
And I'm all about having fun. To me, it's important to always have fun, no matter what you're doing. Because if it's not fun, I don't know why you'd be doing it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
Entertainment's fun sometimes, but I feel like it was more fun. Like the idea, in my opinion, like you would probably do something you like better. But But I feel like my thing is like I'm uneducated, so I'd make like $400 a week if I did anything other than entertainment. So it's
Right.
like, I don't have any degrees, I don't have anything like that, and I'm like, and
Hey.
I think
Look, I've met plenty of rich, talented fuckers out there that didn't have a high school diploma.
I'm I'm trying not to be talented either. I'm just trying to be rich. I'm like,
Well,
I'm trying to get rid of the talent thing.
Then I would tell you to go be a hoe.
Yeah, well, I'm too ugly. I'm too ugly.
You could clean yourself up. You make a few
I use some
dollars on.
luxurious bastard beard oil.
You could just get groomed up and go be a hoe. That's the real money.
Go be a hoe.
I'm going for like the hoe in the Unabomber scene. I'm going for the Ted Kaczynski hoe. Like,
you ever
like
think maybe you could do gay porn? There's money in gay porn.
Well, anybody could do gay porn.
Well, there you go. Go make some money.
I'd rather just.
And you don't have to leave your house.
Well, that's what podcast is.
Yeah.
It's gay.
Look, after this, just start webcamming. Just go straight from right after you're done with the podcast, then just turn on,
maybe
your Chatterbait or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe if you did this show naked, you might get more viewers.
Don't get me started. I'll get naked. Don't get me started.
Like, if that's what it takes.
I'm like, you haven't seen my comedy if you think I won't get naked right now.
Please don't.
Yeah, no.
Okay. We're not going there.
I like this. Chris is playing the hard to get gay now. He's like, I want him, but I want him to know I want him. You know what I mean? It's a good card to play. It works a lot. I bet it works a lot. It seems like a successful card to play.
Well, I learned the day I moved to Los Angeles. I was 21 years old, and I worked at this black and white lab, and everybody was gay except me and the owner. And I learned that day. My friend says to me, inside every straight man is a gay man wanting to come out. And I said, nope, not true.
Not true.
And he said, nope, it's true. And I said to him, I go, so basically you're telling me if I was married 50 years to a woman, fucked her in front of you with a smile on my face, you'd still say I was gay? And he'd go, yeah, you want to be gay. I'd be like, so I'm like, really? And all these years later, I kind of think he's right. I think it's like,
I think the gayest thing I've ever done is watch UFC.
Yeah, that can be pretty gay.
That's probably the gayest, as gay as I've went to watch UFC, probably.
But it's just nothing phases me anymore. Nothing.
I feel like that was a gay guy trying to bang you though.
Totally.
I think he's just like everybody's gay, bro.
Dude, I got stories.
Maybe they are. Oh my God.
Anthony, you work in a dark room with 3 gay guys. And this is before Me Too, okay? And I'm a young boy. Shit went on. But I had to fight these guys off all the time. They tried to convince me all the time. Oh, Chris, you'd like this. No, I won't like this. Like, it was crazy back in those days. I always tell people I got into photography for girls, and it's been that way ever since. I like my girls.
That's how I got into doing nothing forever. I'm just trying to, just for the girls. I do nothing with my life for the girls. They don't deserve anything, frankly.
Do it for the ladies.
Do it for the ladies, exactly.
I gave up on life for the girls.
Do you have clubs you perform at where you're at?
I'm a bar and grill comedian. How dare you?
And fucking.
I was thinking bar. Like, are you basically telling me you're a waiter who tells jokes?
I'll be at a Denny's parking lot on December 3rd.
Yeah.
I'll be out in the McDonald's parking lot.
I'll be next to the Chevy Impala, and I'll be performing.
I'll be a Love truck stop next week in the parking lot. I'm a truck stop comedian. Yeah, no, I do some clubs, man. It depends on what they are, man. To be honest with you, like I don't know, like Hawaii was a club and like Kansas City was a club, but I like bar and grills more because like I can get paid more and I don't have to hang out in a green room and feel like I'm special. I don't sit back here and eat some bullshit fruit tray. I never eat the fucking food. The food's
no.
It's like I don't know who touched it. I don't know what it is. I don't fucking want that. I have a fucking tour bus. I'll eat my fucking tour bus. I mean, that's how I feel. And like I like bar and grills. I hang out there right the whole time. Like I did like you've been in Seattle, I guess, when you took all these pictures. I did El Corazon where Pearl Jam played their first 5 shows. I did that this year. I did
I know the venue.
Yeah, I figured you did from Seattle. I did 20 states this year probably. And and I'll probably do more next year. I don't know. Hawaii was the only one that sucked, really. The rest of them were kind of cool. Like Hawaii's like you fly over the ocean for like 6 hours. I'm like, this is like a suicide attempt or something. Like this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's like the fucking third world. They all hate white people. And it's like, oh, sorry for fucking being white guys. Oh God, I'm sorry, everybody. You know, it's like, shut up.
You should be.
Yeah,
You
like,
son of a bitch.
How long ago did you start doing stand up?
Successfully or like just in or
when
like
you just the first time you got on stage and said, I can do this?
Seattle, actually, to Cannabis Farmers Market, Seattle, 2014. I was more high than I should have been. Everybody's kept. I came from Missouri where weed wasn't legal, and then they had tables covered everywhere, like tables of it. I'm still happy about it. And like and they had like pixie sticks and all. I just ate everything. And they're like, okay, you're on. And like I'm like I was an internet comedian. I was like an internet comedian that made fun of people and got blacklisted for like all these articles I wrote. They're like I've been canceled like in 3 different fields, but and, like, writing was one of them. And then like I blew up online from that. Like I made fun of this. I don't know if you guys aren't from Missouri, so you probably don't know this, but like this like thing in Ferguson happened, all these riots and stuff, and I made fun of it and said it looked like a rap video and shit. And everybody got like really pissed. And then like I toured off that, and then like I started setting on my own tours. And this year I finally had a tour bus. My first year with a tour bus.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Next thing you know, you're gonna sit there and do major headline tours and come to Los Angeles.
Well, I'd have to make a lot of fucking money to go to LA. You'd have to pay me like $20K to even fucking go. Like I fucking don't even want to go there ever. It like hurts.
I was gonna get you $10K, so never mind.
Yeah, it's not worth it. That's what I'm saying. At least 20, or I'm not going to LA ever. I mean, like, unless they're like I'm the last person in the world, like everybody else dies.
But there's free weed here. Really good weed
everywhere.
You're like, fine, fuck it.
You guys can't have guns though. You know, you guys gave up your rights. But I don't know. I don't know. It's not my thing. You know, you probably wouldn't like Missouri, bro. You know, we got too many cool things here. You know.
Yeah, it's true. It's too advanced for me.
Like yeah, what? No, like a tree, and then like a barn, and then like an Applebee's.
Wait, I heard LA had trees back in the day before the smog killed everything. I heard that they used to have a tree.
Don't have trees anymore.
They used to have
everything. Well, you got to understand, everything in LA is a set. It's not real. It's all one gigantic movie. See, so just so you know, I'm the star of my movie, and Nikki is one of my extras in my movie.
I see what's going on here.
I feel like LA is a bunch of like pedophile vampires and like delusional people. Like I mean, it's like
exactly.
I feel like it's just like that's what it feels like to me. And Missouri feels like a secret nobody knows about. Because like you can't even. Can you name another city besides St. Louis or Kansas City, like in Missouri at all? Either of you? No. That's why I love Missouri, because nobody knows shit about it. Yeah. That's why I love it. I can just fucking, you know what I mean? The FBI ain't killing me here. Like,
the FBI ain't killing me here.
It might be my ironic statement, but I'm saying like it might be that.
Dude, there's that one white guy. Get him.
I mean, they got Breitbart, man. They killed Breitbart in LA, bro. I mean, they're monsters out there. They kill all those motherfuckers, man.
I'm trying to think the closest I've gotten to Missouri is the closest I've gotten Georgia.
Kiko's right. Chris would love to like you would love to like the Ozarks. Both of you probably would, honestly. Kiko's right about
I've been to Kansas City. Well, I've been to Kansas City, Missouri for a festival.
I saw your face when I asked if you knew about St. Louis or Kansas City. Both of you guys were like, nope. Like, name one other city. You're like, nope.
I don't
know any other city.
Well, I don't go anywhere anymore.
That's why it's great, though. It's like the Mormons thought it was Eden, and we told them to go to fucking Utah. You know what I mean? That's what I like about Missouri. Like, the Mormons called Missouri paradise, and we're like, well, get the fuck out of paradise. This is our paradise. Fuck you. You're gonna take a little weird sex cult to Utah. You know,
I'm a beach
sex cult.
I'm a beach person, so it wouldn't work for me.
We have beaches, but we also have like people with souls. You know, that's what I like about it. Okay, they have like souls still intact.
Right. Must be nice.
Well, I sold mine off 40 years ago, so I don't have one.
Fucking do. What's so great about having a fucking soul, anyways? You know what I mean? Like...
Exactly. Yeah, well, I don't have one. I sold it a long time ago.
Well, yeah, you guys are in LA. That's what I was saying. Like the city of fallen angels, you know.
Yep. I like to say the city of drunken angels.
Yeah. I do hate your sports teams also.
Well, I grew up in Northern California, and the 11th commandment in Northern California is thou shalt hate SoCal.
Oh, yeah.
So
like, fuck the Dodgers.
Dodgers, fuck the Dodgers, fuck the Lakers.
Everyone in LA is like, oh, I got a fucking Dodger dog.
No. I used to go.
Made out of cancer, okay?
Out of baseball. You know, it's like
Anthony. When I first moved here, I used to go to Dodger Giants games because I'm a Giants bleed Giants, right? I used to go to sit out in the bleachers with a T-shirt that said "fuck the Dodgers," and I would sit out there going "fuck fuck you," and they'd all go like, "Why do you hate us so much?" I'm like, "'Cause you're the Dodgers, fuck you." And then in 2000, I did a shoot with Kobe Bryant, and I talked shit to him all day. I challenged him to one-on-one game. Told him the Lakers. I told him he was a pussy in front of Vanessa. I just talk. I'm not nice to those people. And one time I was doing a shoot for Dodger Stadium, and I got in the elevator with Tommy Lasorda, and I was ready to jump him, beat his ass, but my assistants told me not to. It wouldn't be very good. So I said, okay.
Yeah, you just let the helicopter. You play the long game, let the helicopter take him out. You know.
Yeah. My main thing was just I just grew up in Northern California. You hated anything SoCal. You just hated. It was whether it was USC or UCLA for college, or it was you name the sport. It was just like you just did not.
The only way I'd watch the Lakers if it was like a spelling bee and like LeBron James had to spell words,
Yeah.
That's the only way I'd watch the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm like, LeBron James, spell anything. Like I'd fucking want to see you spell fucking anything. That's peak entertainment to me.
My best friend here, he loves everything, every LA team. Like I hate everything. He loves everything with the complete opposite on things, and we just talk trash all year long. First I was laughing to him about the Dodgers a few weeks ago. I get to make fun of him about the Lakers. We just talk for 20 years. That's all we do.
A fun fact about the Giants and Dodgers and the Cardinals would be that the Cardinals have more World Series than both of your teams combined. Did you know that?
It doesn't matter.
What is it the point?
Because it's the Cardinals and nobody cares.
Is it?
It's a minor league team with a minor league city.
Well, then why do they have more championships than you if they're minor league?
Because they cheat.
The point's to win.
No.
And you guys are.
But they win in the minor leagues. They don't. Nobody cares.
Participate. It's like to win, man. And
but nobody cares about the Cardinals. It's like it's.
We have 11 World Series championships. You guys
honestly, I've never even heard of the Cardinals.
You've never heard
lucky, Nikki.
You're a girl. You don't know anything about sports.
Nobody has. Nikki, you're not alone.
Nobody has.
They have 11 World Series championships. Like the Giants. The Giants have even won a championship. Have the Giants even fucking won a World Series? That's what I'm saying.
They won three in 2000s. Let me check how many champions. Are you sure about this? I'm going to check.
Let's look this up.
Let's look this up.
How many World Series the Giants have? How many World Series? I'm looking up on my phone. I want to know because I think they won 8. Good job. Good job. You won 8. Not quite 11. Not quite 11.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Well, you guys have a bigger budget too. You think you guys would win more games? Like you guys have a way bigger budget. In such a big town, but you guys just don't win anything. It's weird.
So you're telling me that the Cardinals have won more than the Yankees?
No, they're second to the Yankees.
Okay.
Yankees did this key thing where they didn't fucking sell. They had Reggie Jackson in the 70s and Babe Ruth in the 20s. So they kept these guys for a decade, and they just kept winning World Series. The Yankees won 23, 24, 25 because they just kept what worked. Where the Cardinals win a World Series and sell to all you fucking assholes. Yeah. You mean you got fucking pool halls going to the fucking Angels for some reason?
Wow, it says the Yankees have 27.
Yeah. Yankees have more than anybody else.
And they paid for 25 of those.
Yeah.
No, you're right. They have the budget. Yeah, and that's what happens. The Cardinals win a fucking World Series. Pool halls goes to the fucking Angels to be a bat boy or some shit instead of fucking hitting home runs for us. And that's what happened. That's what the Yankees do. They buy everybody up. They had the Reggie Jackson years. They had the fucking baby.
Oh, I was there watching it.
That's nuts. Yeah, no, it's nuts.
I loved that before he went to the Yankees when he was the A's as a kid. I hated the A's. We didn't like Oakland A's. And
Oakland's ghetto.
When they ran, I think it was I was 72, 73, 74. They won 3 years in a row. We were all angry as fuck. We were just couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
and what's his name? Charlie Finley or whatever the owner was a jerk and stuff. Oh, it was horrible.
We took Mark McGwire from them, I think.
That was after. That was after. Yeah, when he was all in doing roids and everything.
I'm pro steroids. I think if you're playing,
I am too.
If you're playing sports, steroids should be mandatory. I mean,
I think everybody should just do whatever they like. Because, like I always tell people, everything in life, whenever you hear about something, just know that it's the tip of the iceberg. Because whoever, like the 10 guys that got busted for it, I guarantee there was another 100 that didn't get busted for it.
Yeah, it's so boring to take away these heroes' accomplishments. Like they took away like Lance Armstrong's like Tour de France. It's like okay, if steroids make you so much better, you take steroids and win fucking all these Tour de Frances. You know what I mean? It's just nuts, man. It's like. I don't know, man. The guy comes back from cancer and they're like, oh, you took steroids. I'm like, I hope you did, bro.
I hope you did.
It's like, just think about all the guys that were on, like they all said during the 60s and 70s, the people, all the players that were on amphetamines, on speed and shit like that.
Oh,
like
same shit.
Like crazy. It's all like, like I said, what you don't hear about, like how many guys were fucking strung out on heroin or whatever, like it's crazy. It's just stupid. That's why when I was a kid, sports was everything because we didn't have anything else. But as I got older, I stopped caring about baseball, football, and basketball. I can care less about all of it, really. I'm into English Premier League football as my sport. That's what I watch mainly.
Yeah, I started getting into sports because politics was getting all my friends arrested.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna fucking talk about sports now, so I don't get fucking killed by when China comes over,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, basketball, bouncing balls, dude. Oh yeah, throwing balls. That's what I'm about, man. I don't care about the government. Yeah, take it over. I'll make Nikes, whatever, China. That's how I got back into sports. Because
I love English Premier League football. That's my sport.
Yeah.
Liverpool's my team, and I get up every morning. Like Saturday, I got to get up at 4 a.m. to watch the game.
Now, is that soccer or whatever?
Soccer.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Football.
But it's like
it's just dudes running. It's like Lord of the Rings on fast forward.
I call it keep away. I call it keep away. Like,
you guys ever seen a cat? Look at this cat.
Oh my god!
We're gonna sell this kitten tonight on live stream. If you have donations for
every 30 minutes, a cat like this.
What's your cat's name?
This isn't my cat. This is my mom's cat. His name is actually Hendrix. I think this one is
Hendrix, like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, this is my mom's cat. We're selling them right now to whoever wants to eat them. So if you want to live stream this cat's meal.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving. It'll be a Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah. Who needs turkey when you can have a cat?
Plump ass cat. That was
thick.
Feed a lot of people.
Come on. Have you ever had a cat stuffing?
He actually uses luxurious bastard beard oil too. Link in the script. He actually
doesn't cat go good with yams?
We got another cat over here. We got a bunch of cats tonight, so.
Like my cat has fur on it still. What the?
Like Kiko said, stir fry.
Fuck.
Oh my god!
I can't believe 600 people are watching me pet my mom's cat in this
How many?
mahogany bookshelf. 630 people. It's like
are watching us.
Yeah, for some reason, Chris. I don't know why.
Oh my god!
Still trying to figure it out, but I
was just the 3 of us. I didn't know anybody was going to watch this.
And I'm just saying, people watch this. It's getting kind of invasive right now. I'm getting kind of freaked out. This many people are watching us right now. I think we should go to their life.
Past my bedtime, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's getting kind of awkward with all these people staring at us. I think we should go back to our lives. I think we should all stay friends. I think we should just be good friends and just get out of here. Like call it a night before. Just leave on top.
Yeah, like quit while we're ahead.
Yeah,
while we're ahead. Before we say anything else that'll just totally ruin our reputation.
Exactly.
I hope we didn't get Chris canceled tonight. I hope Chris can still be employed. I hope that we didn't cancel him by saying 7 or 6 words that may have got us canceled. But I hope that I hope that China wins World War III and we all make Nikes for him. I'm pro.
I keep saying to everybody, I could care less about most things. I just want to get up and be alive.
I'm just.
Do you
want
to plug anything?
Island,
Do you want to plug anything before we?
Well, mainly my app is available at the App Store. Please download and check it out. Hopefully my next exhibition. I think if everything goes as planned, it's going to be in Australia in February. And I'm working on 3 exhibitions here for America. Hey, maybe you can find me a gallery in St. Louis. I'll do an exhibition there.
Oh, dude, we only rob people here, dude. We don't do art. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll set you up a nice tent in the middle of the street for your art exhibit.
Maybe we can hang my photos up on your wall behind you, and then we can invite people over. We can invite people over.
On the real fake wall full of
let's do an online gallery so I don't have to go anywhere and people watch, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be like, look at these great photos, you know?
No. I'm just hoping next year, my goal next year is 5 exhibitions, and that's my goal. That's a big
awesome.
number. Normally I do about 2, but next year I want to do 5.
Ooh. Yay.
It's not cheap.
But I'm kind of uncomfortable with all these people watching. I do have to get out of here. I think it's kind of invasive. I think you guys should go back to your lives and stop staring at us. We're just people, okay?
Get a life.
We're just people that are better than other people. It's not a big deal, okay? It's not a big deal to be better than other people, okay? It's like you got to stay humble when you're better than everyone. So you got to kill your ego, and that's why we're better than everyone, because we don't have egos.
Just what I like to say is just be nice to the little people.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know the little people. You don't know how the people I stepped on to get here. It was a lot.
It's like I always say, it's never too late to give up on your dreams, everybody. It's never too late.
100%.
But I'm gonna get out of here, guys.
Thank you, Anthony.
Pleasure. God bless you all.
Thank you for coming on, Chris. Love you.
Love you, Nikki. Miss you much. Anthony, thank you so much.
No problem. I appreciate it. And everybody watching, I hope you all find God before the world ends. I hope that you find Jesus Christ and stop living a life of sin and debauchery. I hope that everybody comes to Christ and joins us in heaven. Heaven's going to be kind of lonely without you guys. That's all I'm saying. So God bless each and every one of you. I'm out.